everyone, it's Erica back on the Altenew YouTube channel, and today we're going to play with my new love, the bearded iris. I cannot even tell you how much I love this one. I'm already such a huge fan of the keyhole system and the Craft the Flower range, but this one, oh my goodness, look at the details. Look at this. I mean, oh, it's just gorgeous. What we're going to do is we're going to take a real life photo of an iris that these grow in my garden, and we're going to attempt to go somewhat similar to these colors. So we're going to use the gorgeous new shades of purples for these pieces, and then we're going to kind of step away from a little bit of that like bluish tint. And I had some issues filming so unfortunately I forgot to film the part where I've used lavender fields and midnight violet to create that like real depth. So when I realized, I kicked myself a little bit, don't you worry. And then I thought, you know what, we are gonna have to like re-film some of these bits and pieces. So I am going to show you again how I've done some of this. But we're gonna start very, very gently first with lavender fields. So it actually doesn't show very well on here. And then again, something happened with my filming equipment. I don't know what is going on here, except for the fact that technology has a serious vendetta against me. I don't care what anyone else says. I know this vendetta is real and it's conspiring against me. Now, you might hopefully be able to catch what I'm doing here. So we're going to slow this right down. I have added a little bit of a touch of lavender fields. You can't even really see it. It looks so white. It's such a light touch. And then I've gone in with midnight violet here to create this really lush, deep contrast. And we are just going to keep on building up this color. This is in real time. So we're not rushing this part. No. Taking your time with this really makes all the difference. Just trust me. Oh, so on the little pieces to the left, or as rather the big pieces, I've actually just gone lavender fields and deep iris. It wasn't actually midnight violet, no. So on the other pieces, I've gone straight in with that like capal color to add all the depth and details. Then I have done a huge amount of leaves and stamens and stems and like the little bud bits and pieces. And we are going to lay these up with the brilliant keyhole system. So I'm going to do one of these flowers on film. And this is sped up just double the time. So it's super easy. You cannot, honestly, you cannot go wrong with this. All you have to do is line up each one of these, whatever shape they are, whether it's a triangle, this one is an arrow. You just line them up on top of each other. So you kind of create like a little paper tunnel almost. And then you will have your flower done in a matter of minutes. You honestly, you cannot go wrong with the system. It is foolproof, I'm telling you. And as you can see here, this flower is coming to life so quickly. And yes, I know it's sped up a little bit, but only a tiniest bit, so that we won't be here all day. Because I can sit here all day and talk about how amazing the system is and how beautiful this flower is. And as I said, I'm already such a huge fan of the Craft the Flowers. But this one stole my paper-loving heart the minute I saw it. I haven't been able to stop creating with this. I'm already up at like 4 or 5 cards. And I probably will keep on making them because I love this flower. And just in case you were like a little bit unsure, I love it. I'm telling you, I love it because look how pretty it is. Look at that beauty. Oh my goodness. I'm amazed at the innovation behind this. Now, I did do a bunch of leaves and stuff and things like that as well. And I thought actually they kind of looked a little bit flat. So I thought, you know what, we're going to add a little bit more depth and dimension to this because we want to bring them to life as well. We can't have this amazing flower just sitting on like a meh bunch of like leaves, right? So we're going to take a little bit of reindeer moss and we're going to use a micro blending tool so that we have super duper control of where the ink is going. So the bigger the tool, the easier like coverage you will get, and like, you know, the faster you will cover an area as well. But when you want control and placing your ink very, very precisely, these micro blending tools are an absolute godsend. So I'm honestly, again, huge fan of the craft of flowers, huge fan of ink blending and die cutting, and I'm loving a bunch of good tools because I'll let you in on a little secret. When I first started ink blending, I was so bad at it, like so bad, because I first of all didn't have the correct tools for me, so I didn't get on really well with the foam pad type tool. Really did not get on with them. And also I try to rush adding color, which is no, you need patience, which I know is so hard to come by these days, but I swear it pays off so well when it comes to ink blending. It really does. But we're going to skip ahead and we're going to make some backgrounds. Yes, we are. And we're going to use the gorgeous Whispering Woodlands greens and the Dancing Drops stencil. So I've used the big grippy mat from the Stamp Wheel 2.0. And I put my cardstock down, I put my little stencil down, and you can see I don't even have to hold it. It just stays in place. Look, isn't that brilliant? And this makes all the difference. It really does. It gives you super great and crisp results, and you don't have to worry about like ripping your paper using, you know, masking tape or whatever. And I'm just going to create an ombre look here because yes, I am that one trick pony that I do love an ombre. And this is not the only ombre we're going to create today. No, it is not. But when you have a winning formula, you know, why mess with that? Now, this is where the ink or the micro ink blending tools come in super handy as well, because I really wanted to bring in like a little bit of detail, like even more detail here. So I'm using the micro blending brush and just going kind of around the bottom of the stencil there, and just wait. I mean, you can see it now, right? But then once the stencil is off, it just pops. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And look at these colors. They are just so stunning. Now we're going to clean off our stencil, and we are going to use a little bit of masking tape this time, and we are going to skip the grippy mat and we're going to go straight onto our work mat. And the reason we're going to do this is because we are going to bring out some of that shimmer relief paste. Yes, we are. We're going to create a shimmering gorgeousness of a background, and we're going to use Enchanted Gold because this one, yep, you might have guessed it. Here comes a silly pun, but it has enchanted me. It is so stunning and gorgeous. It goes on like butter. It blends and just goes on so well. Oh, and that shimmer. Yes, I'm besotted. Honestly, I really am. I'm loving this. And when it dries, you do need to make sure that it dries before you start touching it. And I will show you why you should not touch it before it's dry. But this is, again, one of my favorite things. I love spreading paste through stencils, and this is magic. Okay, so again, this is all real time now as well. So you can see I might have been going a little bit overboard with the smoothing and stuff, but it's just because I wanted a really smooth finish. If you want a bit of texture, you just tap your palette knife or whatever tool you're using on top of that to create like a little bit of texture in the paste, and then you just leave it to dry and it's going to come out amazing. But I wanted a really smooth finish for this because we're going to put some of those gorgeous bearded irises on top. Now we're gonna bring this up so that we can have a little look up close, because oh, it's worth it. So gorgeous. But while that is drying, we are going to make yet another background. Yes, we are. So we're gonna get our grippy mat out again, and we are going to grab the foil leaf stencil, and we're gonna use the same Whispering Woodlands greens, and we're gonna again do another ombre because your girl is obsessed. I'm sorry, but not sorry, because it just looks so gorgeous. It really, really does. And we're gonna go from light to dark all the way to the bottom, but this time we're not gonna go like extra with the reindeer moss. We're just gonna add whatever colors we have, and then we're not gonna go in like super duper heavy. So this is it. We are just gonna go bam bam bam. So actually we just done 3 colors, and you still get such gorgeous and amazing results. And these are going to go straight onto card bases, and we are going to create our irises. But yeah, I did touch, you can see like right down there in the bottom right hand corner, I touched it before it was dry. So kicking myself again. Yeah, learn from my mistakes. Don't touch your shimmer paste until it is dry, because you will regret it. And then you'll have to come up with clever ways of disguising your boo-boos. So instead of having to do all that, just leave it to dry until it's actually dried. And then you can come back and, you know, make the rest of the card. But I'm going to use some of the many leaves here. We're going to create like a big kind of like iris bush. So irises in natural life really have kind of like a lot of, it's quite a bushy flower. So it's usually just one stem of actual flower, and then you have loads and loads of leaves around it. So I wanted to kind of create something very similar to that onto my card. And instead of kind of wasting some of the leaves, you know, where it's not going to show, we are going to do some clever cutting and gluing here. So we're going to keep on adding our flower without actually gluing it down. We're just going to put it where it's supposed to go, and then we're going to measure some of these leaves where they are going to go, and then we're going to do a little quick chop of the bits that are not going to show, and then we're going to transplant them somewhere else, so that we're getting kind of the most out of all of these bits and pieces. Because I have ink blended so that there is details onto the top and the bottom of these leaves, because obviously at the time when I was ink blending them, I didn't know which one was going to be cut and which one wasn't, and which piece wasn't going to be shown. So this is where I really wanted to make sure that I have as little waste as possible and as much oomph and wow as possible. So you can see here, we have cut and glued a little bit, and it looks crazy right now. But as I always say, nobody's gonna know, except for you guys who actually watch this, you know. But if you do this and you send this card to somebody, unless they actually take the card apart, which rude if they do that, nobody's gonna know. So you might as well just get the most out of all of your bits and pieces. So whatever people can't see, whether it's like cut a word, if you have a word die cut and you know that part of the panel is not going to show, just use that. You know, don't let anything go to waste. And we have added a little bit of foam tape on top of this iris as well, just to make sure that it kind of stands out a little bit extra, because it's obviously, we need as much oomph and wow as we can. Now, I still had to kind of step back and let this dry a little bit more, but I was toying with the idea of doing a landscape on this one. So while I was letting that panel sort of dry a little bit more, I was cutting some more Instant Dimension foam tape. And this is the 1 inch wide one. This is the 1/16 height. And I'm cutting them to pieces so that I can put them onto the back of my irises. And then we're going to get some sentiments ready, and we're going to have our entire card making shebang ready for when that background panel is actually dry. So yet again, memo to everyone, don't do what I did and touch that until it is really dry. Just wait, be patient. So we're going to be using some of the sentiments from the Garden Whispers stamp set. So this is also from the February release, and it has gorgeous die cuts that cuts out everything perfect. I have used just permanent black ink for this because I wanted that crisp sort of white background and the sentiment like really crisp black. I've also cut out an extra few little die cuts so that we can layer everything up, because without texture and dimension, are we even card making? I mean, obviously when you're card making with me, then no, because I can't remember the last time I made a true one layer card. So if it is, you know, if you like texture and dimension and layers and making things kind of come to life and 3D, I'm your girl for sure. So here we are going to kind of puzzle around a little bit, and then I did actually realize that I managed to make a boo-boo here. So you can see I dropped a little bit of glue when I was putting the flowers together. So when I had the little stamen, I had the glue on the back, I managed to actually drop it on top of the flower, and it reacted with the ink. So I needed to cover that up. So the sentiment was just the perfect kind of band-aid, I guess, because you need a sentiment anyway. Now, this is where I was like, okay, you know what? We have got to step away and actually let this dry. So I went and had a coffee and a cookie. And now it is finally dry so that we can turn this into a card. But at this point I had several boo-boos that I had to cover up, so I had to be really smart about it. And we're gonna start by putting this onto a card base, and then we're gonna use both of these flowers. Yes, we are. So we're gonna sort of gently place them where we want them, and then we're going to stick in a lot of the greens, the leaves and things. And these are gonna go pretty flat. So we want the flowers to really sort of stand out. Because again, oh my goodness, have you seen them? They are so gorgeous. Oof. Yes, and also another thing, when you have a really lovely textured background with lots of details and the shimmer, sometimes it really helps to have like something close to the background to really make the flowers stand out. I'm hoping that makes sense, because it kind of makes sense when I'm looking at the card, and it just sometimes it helps make whatever is the star of the card really stand out, if not everything is like layered up. You get what I mean? I'm hoping you do, because, and if you don't, I'm gonna blame this on being a foreigner. I have a language barrier. I'm Swedish, yeah, and sometimes I get a little bit carried away. But yeah, so we're gonna stick down our leaves. And again, we're gonna, you know, try to remember like where have we got the flowers, where are they gonna go. We're gonna try to make the most of every single little piece. We don't want anything to kind of go to waste or just kind of be hidden away where it's not gonna even show. And then we're gonna place our beautiful, beautiful flowers. I mean, I know that Altenew they are all super clever. They have such creative minds, and I'm loving that. But I cannot see how this flower can be topped, because this is so gorgeous. And I need to come up with like a new adjective, because I just keep saying gorgeous and stunning, and you know, it's just so amazing. I am utterly, utterly besotted with this craft of flower, and I really hope that you, having watched this, would think, hey, I can make beautiful flowers easily as well. If she can do it, I can do it. And of course you can. Of course you can. It just takes a little bit of patience. Get ink blending or get some colored cardstock. You can do it. And this is, in my opinion, a must-have in your crafting arsenal. 100%. I am the president of the Bearded Iris Craft the Flower fan club. So please join me. Membership is free. All you have to do is love it as much as I do, and you're in. But that is it from me for today. I really, really hope that you have enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you, and I will see you very soon again. Bye for now.
Hey there, Lydia here. I really do hope that you've just enjoyed the video. If so, please subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, turn on the notification bell so you can get your daily dose of crafty techniques and tutorials just like this. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.